Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Joe, and this is my channel, Eager Expat. I've lived here in Bangkok, Thailand for a little over 3 years, and I love it. Retired here at age 56. I came from an expensive city of San Diego, California, and let's go over some basics compared to my hometown. I know not everybody's from such an expensive place as San Diego, but maybe some of the things will be the same if you're from London, Sydney, Vancouver, or many other places in around the world that are pretty darn expensive. A lot of us come here to Bangkok to save some cash, and probably the number one way is going to be in our housing. So let's take a look at. I used to carry mail. I was a mailman. So let's look at my old route in San Diego. Now, granted, it was right on the beach and some expensive real estate, but even kind of a crummy apartment in San Diego is you're going to be hard pressed to find something under 2,000 US dollars and sometimes three times as much. So let's go to a website called Zillow. And here it is. So let's see, starting in my old neighborhood, this is not the greatest building. Right here, 4080 Lamont. It's just basic housing. I thought they were studios, but they're 500 square foot, one bedrooms. Show you the pictures here. Nothing to write home about. It's just a little courtyard right here. The mailboxes were right there. And old school wall heaters. I'm going to guess these things were built in the 50s, maybe 60s. And they updated this one. I've been in some of these units, and it was just kind of old shag carpeting. But this is what you get for $2,000 in Pacific Beach, an area of San Diego. Really nice area. But if you, and 500 square foot, I've mentioned the size of units here in Bangkok, and other people have said, I'm not going to live in that small a unit, that type of shoebox. But 500 square is 46 meters, which is a nice size apartment. I'm living in 52 right now. So that just goes to show you 60 meter, 70 meter, 80 meter here in Bangkok are going to come at a considerable cost. Let's see what else we could get in San Diego. Now, this was also on my route. This is a 2-bed, 1-bath. It doesn't say what the square footage is, but I've been in these units, and I'm going to guess 800 square foot, maybe 850. This real estate and square footage is valuable at the beach, but you can see $4,525 for a 2-bed, 1-bath. Now, this is just across the street from that other building, but this is way nicer. This is renting a condo. Across the street was an apartment building. You could see upgraded appliances and all, granite countertops. That's all pretty standard. You don't really, well, I guess that's maybe a Wolf stove or something. That's a little extra. But you don't have too many kind of crummy condos down at the beach. It's just not worth it when you can upgrade it with nice appliances and all, and charge over $4,000 for rent. Trying to remember. I think, yeah, so it's not much to look at on the outside, but it's a nice building. Yeah, I put those mailboxes up years and years ago. So that is what Pacific Beach will get you. Let's take a look at downtown San Diego, comparing it to downtown Bangkok. And I could show you some $10,000 a month places in San Diego, but I'm trying to keep it reasonable. And I'm just showing you a reasonable place is $2,929 here in downtown San Diego, next to Petco Park and the gas lamp area. You can see the new ballpark. This is San Diego Bay. That is an aircraft carrier. San Diego will hold 3 aircraft carriers at one time. I lived over here. It's a little overcast this day. That's Shelter Island and Point Loma. I had a sailboat I lived on over there. But this building is right here where it's pointing. That's beautiful Petco Park. Downtown San Diego, there's a lot of homeless people wandering around, so it can be a little a little bit sketchy, but it's still pretty darn expensive. Let's take a look at some of the pictures of what was that? $4,500 gets you. And it's not much. I think it was 750 square foot, which I'm trying to find the equivalent. That is, 68, 69 meter. Again, every now and then somebody will leave a comment on they're going to come over and you're not stay in a matchbox or a cracker box, that kind of thing. I need at least 150 square meter. Man, I don't know what that's going to cost. I'll give you some examples here in a minute, but it's going to be pretty darn expensive. Most of us are in these smaller places, and I don't know, my apartment's nice and super comfortable at 52 meter. I've had a 35 meter and a 52, and there's a noticeable difference. I could get by just fine on the 32 or 35 meter, but for not much more money, I'm getting this 52 in a little bit older building. So here you go. This is what $4,500 is going to get you in my hometown of San Diego, California. All right, now taking a look at Bangkok and Phrom Phong, my neighborhood. If you're unfamiliar, Phrom Phong is right on the Sukhumvit light green line. It's very popular. One station up is Sok in Terminal 21, and the other direction, Thong La. This is a really favorite area for expats and locals alike. You have the Emporium Mall, the M Quartier, the M Sphere, the Benjasiri Park. You're a short distance to Benja Kitty Park. It's really nice. Now, again, if you are going to be okay with a 31 square meter, well, here's one on down my street. This is Sukhumvit Soi 26. It's at the Seed Musi building. It's a one bed, one bath, 31 square meter. 15,000. The thing you have to be a little careful of on any of these websites, Fazwaz, Property Scout, they're all great, and they're really good at showing you pictures of the inside of what units look like. Now this 15,000, it may or may not be available. See, it says check availability. You need to just kind of take this with a grain of salt. And 15, this is probably more like 18 today. Round up. There's always a little bit of room for negotiation when you're signing 1-year contracts. Folks have asked me, can I get a 6-month contract? Yes, sometimes, but they're normally going to want more. Let's assume this price is correct. For a 6-month contract, they'd probably say, we'll do it for 17,000 baht. So there you go. Now, if it's priced at 15 and you sign a 12-month contract, I would offer 13,000 baht, and you might get it. I did something similar with where I'm at today, and it worked out. They might counter with, no, we'll take 14. Just keep in mind, sometimes the way they do business in Thailand, from what I'm understanding and what I've also heard from my buddies, sometimes they won't counter. So let's say this is 15 and you go lowball, hey, I'll give you 12. They might just say, no, thank you. And that's the end of the discussion, where you might be happy with the place at, say, 14,000 baht. So just keep that in mind. Don't go for a super lowball and expect them to come back with a counter, if that makes sense. So taking a look at this, this is your typical. This is a low-rise building. I happen to know it. I think it's 6 or 8 stories. Your typical 31 square meter. They're going to have, most of them are going to have a washer, no dryer. That has a little bathtub. Well, okay, so this is small, but at least it has a separate bedroom, I think. I don't know if the bedroom's behind these curtains. I had a unit in En Nut that it was more like a shotgun style. You walk in, it's just one big unit, and there's a sliding glass door here, and behind that was the bedroom. Just it barely fit a bed and a closet, and they called that a one bedroom. To me, that's more a studio, where this, yeah, it's small, but at least you have your bed in another room behind a closed door. So I can be out here like I am right now at 2:10 in the morning, and my girlfriend, she's not here right now, but she could be getting a good night's sleep, and I'm out here doing my little thing. So this is one example. I just put 15,000 and under, but you can get a little bit more for 25,000 sometimes. Let me see if nah, I can't find one here. Okay, well, here's a Noble Refined building. I'm not sure if this one's on 26. I think it is. It's only 26 square meter, but it's a fancier, polished building. It's right near the BTS, but if you want a large space in a newish or fancier building, you're going to pay for that dearly at times. So this is pretty darn small. That's the front door. That's the kitchen. You turn around and you're looking at the bed. Here's the bed. Your TV's in front of you. Some closets. I think there's a small balcony over here. Yeah. All right. So it all comes down to what you want. My case, I'm fine with a 2008 building. I don't even know when this building was built. Let's see. All right, 2012. So it's not brand new, but granted, it's a little more polished than my building, just a half a block away. There was one other I think I saved in showing you a comparison with an expensive building. Okay, and getting into some fancier buildings for those folks that demand 150 square meter or 200 square meter. Here's the Rain Tree Village. Now this is a 3-bedroom. That's the thing. You're not going to have 150 square meter 1-bedroom. So here's a 3-bedroom, 268 square meter. It's 90,000 baht. So that's not too cheap. 163 square meter in the Richmond Place. That's a beautiful building. 3-bed, 2-bath. I think it is, if this is the building I'm thinking of. No, it looks like a little bit, maybe older building. But this is definitely family size. You can rent a house right here in central Bangkok, but it's going to be a whole bunch more than this 90,000 baht. Ooh, that's a nice balcony. So there you go. There's just a little price comparison between my old hometown of San Diego, California, and my new hometown of Bangkok, Thailand. Some real savings there. That's probably going to be your number one savings. And in my case, it allows me to not save a ton of money, but have more money to spend on other things. Going out to dinner, trying new restaurants, hanging out at the pub with friends. I'm a big traveler, so I spend way more on traveling than I do on my basic rent and utilities. Utilities are just not that much here. If you kind of have one air conditioner blasting, call it half the day, let's say you're in the apartment half of the day, $60, $60, $70, sure, you can go to $200 if you have 2 air conditioners running for 20 hours a day. But even then, my friend I was just talking to my buddy in Austin, and I think he was telling me, we always have the discussion about no sales tax, no state tax, but property tax and power is a real killer. I think he said his power bill, and he even has solar, but I think he said it was $600 this month. So there you go. Use all the power you want in some of these condos, and $150 tops. All right, so comparing Mexican food. Now that's not really a fair comparison with all the great taco shops in San Diego. And if you're unfamiliar, San Diego is right on the Mexican border in Tijuana. So we have incredible Mexican food for cheap. We have incredible Thai food for cheap here in Bangkok, so that's a wash. But comparing just my favorites, maybe not yours, I'm going to compare this restaurant, Casa de Guadalajara. We would always go there for whatever, birthdays and all. It's just a great place. I went there the last time I was visiting San Diego, an incredible meal. And one of my favorites here is Charlie Brown's Mexicana. I think the prices are kind of going to be comparable, But let's take a look. Looking at the menu here, well, let's look at the happy hour menu, and I'll compare that to Charlie Brown's happy hour. They have a nice one. Happy hour in the cantina. Okay, for concha de guacamole, it's just like a crispy flour tortilla with guacamole, and this says cheese and tortilla dips is $8. So that's pretty good. We'll see what guacamole cost at Charlie Brown's. I think it's cheaper than $8. Cantina tostada, $8. A cheese quesadilla, $8. Again, this is happy hour price. Add $5 for carne asada or pollo asado, and $2 for guacamole. So 8, 9, 10, $15 for carne asada or chicken quesadilla with guacamole, $15. Taquitos, $8. Guacamole is $2. I'm seeing guacamole is pretty darn expensive. I'd heard different things about avocados really skyrocketing in price, and yeah, $2 for guacamole. That seems like a big change. I can kind of remember 50 cents and $1. Again, I'm probably aging myself, but I don't think it was that long ago. It was $1. Street tacos. All right, margaritas. One margarita during happy hour is $10. And Charlie Brown's, they don't do Taco Tuesday like a lot of places. They do half-price margaritas until 6 p.m. every day, I believe, and all day on Tuesday. I think you can do half-price glasses and half-price pitchers. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have them beat there. This is $10. It doesn't even say what kind of tequila for margarita of the house. If you want a Cadillac margarita with Hornitos, $12 on happy hour. Well drinks are $6. Skinny margarita, $10. This is just one glass, and I'm not even sure when happy hour is. Domestic beer bottles, $5. That's not bad. Mexican beer, $6. Craft beer, drafter bottles, $7. $7 for wine, $8 for sangria. All right, so let's take a look at non-happy hour, because I'm not oftentimes going to dinner at 5 o'clock. So the main menu. All right, you want that guacamole and the conch again? It's now $13. What else? The quesadilla, it went up, I guess $15 there. I guess for happy hour, you have a choice of just having a cheese quesadilla. Oh no, this is a cheese quesadilla. All right, so no meat there. So non-happy hour, $15 for a regular cheese. I'm sure somewhere along the lines you can add steak for another $5. Nacho Supreme, $19. Shrimp ceviche, I love ceviche, $19. Sopas, oh, the abondaga soup, $9. I know Primo at Charlie Brown's makes a tortilla soup. I still need to try. $9. I make my own tortilla soup, so. Oh, I've had this many a time. The carne asada, $21. Well, that's the carne asada salad. No, I've never had that. Small Caesar salad, grilled chicken and avocado. All right, so your salads are $20. I know Boone gets some kind of salad at Charlie Brown's with shrimp. Let me see if they have a shrimp here. I don't know. Chopped Mexican salad. Yeah, I don't see the shrimp, but all the other salads are $20, so the shrimp has to be at least 25 or 26. And favorites. Let's get down to the meats. Enchiladas, $20. Enchiladas Guadalajara. Chicken mole enchiladas. Seafoods, tequila lime shrimp. Now, I know they have something like that. Boone hits every seafood on every menu. So I know she's did something here in Bangkok. $25 for that. Cameron a la Diabla, $26. That looks good. All right, now we do get the fajitas often, beef fajitas. That's not too bad, really. 24.50. Build your own fajitas. Ultimate fajitas, shrimp, chicken, and beef, 30 bucks. What am I missing here? Okay, I guess the shrimp is costing the most. And then combinations, 18 bucks, 19 bucks. So there you go. It's going to be for two people, call it $40 or $50 for food. And then let's see what the regular drinks. Yeah, and there's the carne asada, 25 bucks. I've had that many a time. Even a big carne asada burrito is $20.50. California burrito, $20.95. I know they have a California burrito at Sunrise Tacos that's not bad. Seafood tacos, ooh, Ensenada fish tacos, ooh, $21. Man, I don't know how many two tacos for $1 down in Ensenada I've had over my life, but delicious. I know there's a big debate as to whether the fish taco came from Ensenada or San Felipe. And I'm an Ensenada guy. We used to go to Husong's Cantina, one of the oldest cantinas in all of the Californias, and hit this one particular stand right by the fishing boats where they claim to be one of the originals with the deep fried, I know they're not the greatest for you, the deep fried battered fish tacos, but they are delicious. Vegetarian options. All right, so they're not putting any meat in the fajitas and still charging it 22 bucks. That sounds very California. Carnitas, delicious, $21.50. I'm not sure. I think Primo might make a carnita. Huh. And interestingly enough, they're not showing the regular drink prices, just the happy hour drink prices. I just went through the whole menu. It is 2:30 in the morning, so maybe I'm missing something, but yeah, I didn't see it. Well, anyhow, we know what the happy hour prices are, so we can safely assume it's going to cost more non-happy hour. Now, looking at my Charlie Brown's Mexicana here in Bangkok, I really like this place. Let's go to the website. No, I don't want the Facebook. Unless that is their website. I don't like the Facebook as the website, but maybe that is our only choice here. Opened in 1992. If you remember, Charlie Brown's used to be on Sukhumvit Soy 11, right behind the original Cheap Charlie's. Good times. And let's see where the menu is. And this says 83 baht for a delicious strong margarita. There's literally one place in Bangkok. Tuesday means 50% off all margaritas and sangria. All night from 4 p.m. from 83 baht per glass. No added tax or SC, service charge, I guess. Okay, this isn't going to be as great with my eyes, but here's the menu. Let me zoom in. Well, I think that's all the zoom I can get. I apologize, but let's see. We had fajitas. Well, here's the quesadilla. The chipotle chicken quesadilla is 215 baht for a 6-inch or 270 for a 9-inch. With steak, Australian beef, 230 small, 295 large. The fajitas, get out of the way, Arrow. Yeah, I don't like this. Can't read it. Charlie Brown's fajita, chicken, 470. Beef, 485. No, that's the Charlie Brown platter. Yeah, it's the same price. 450 for the fajitas, 485 for the beef fajitas. And the big burrito, chipotle chicken, 395. And here's the salads, the ensalada, fajita salad, the beef fajita salad, 430 baht. So what is that, a little over 12 bucks? Somebody's cooking. It's 2:30 at night. I have all my windows open, but I smell. I can't hear my neighbors, but if somebody 2 floors below me is cooking, and sometimes people cook out on their balconies, I get that little bit of smell coming up. Doesn't bother me a bit, but it just reminds me I'm not living here on my own. The Nacho Supreme for beef or pork, 330 baht. Chicken, 305. What else? Where's the carne asada? I know I get that a lot. Carne asada. I thought it was called Charlie Brown. Maybe I get the Charlie Brown platter. Anyhow, it seems like it's a little cheaper. And let's look at their drinks. Now, this is the regular price. A glass of original lime margarita is 220 and a pitcher is 1,320. Again, half price before 6 p.m. Unless they've changed that. I was in there about a month ago, maybe even less, and it was half price until 6 and all day on Tuesday. So that's a very popular day. What's this? Tequila by the glass. Jose Cuervo Blanco 130. Don Julio Blanco 280. Patron Anejo 440. And then some more expensive options. Or you can buy a tequila by the bottle. Jose Cuervo Blanco 2,400 baht. Mezcal. Well, where's the beers? I always have margaritas while I'm in there, but you can get Heineken, Beer Lao, Tiger, Sing, San Miguel Light, Corona, or those are all 130 baht. Corona's 230 baht. Acai Draft, 100 baht, or a jug is 270 baht. So there you go. There's a little comparison between a San Diego Mexican restaurant and a Bangkok Mexican restaurant. Again, I'm trying to compare apples to apples. I'm not going to compare a taco shop in San Diego, although they're not so cheap. Shoot, I was doing some work on my parents' house when I was back in California earlier this year, and I hit the taco shops a lot. And maybe it was the sodas. I need to knock off drinking soda, but sometimes I just needed that caffeine when I was working 24 hours a day. I'd get a large soda and some tacos, and it was like $24 at a taco stand. You look at the receipt, and the soda was like $7 or something crazy. So I get it. I think I've always heard that many of these restaurants make most of their profit on, or maybe I've heard it was McDonald's makes the majority of their profit on soda compared to hamburgers. And when we're talking about the Grab and Bolt app here in Bangkok, you can't really touch it. In California anyhow, we have, what do we have? Lyft and Uber. And I took, okay, a ride, my last ride was $38.56, and I'm sure I put a $5 tip on there. Going about 7 miles from my buddy's house to the San Diego airport. I didn't want to bother him. I needed to be at the airport at 3 in the morning to catch the early flight to San Francisco. Well, I had to be there at 4, but I go early. I left at 3. So that was whatever it was, 40, I'll call it 45 US dollars without any type of surge pricing, kind of an off time. I know I took a friend to see Stevie Nicks. Big Stevie Nicks and Fleetwood Mac fan. She was playing at the Forum in LA. And we went, stayed at a hotel right by LAX. I was going to have a couple of beers, and I didn't want to have anything to do with driving anywhere around that Forum. It was at the Forum in Inglewood. We took, I think it was an Uber from the hotel to the Forum. It was about 30 bucks. Coming home, they have the old surge pricing where it says, hey, there are many cars in demand, and every car would pull into the Forum and pull into a numbered spot. You know, they would say, go find your car at space 53, and oh, by the way, you're paying $110. So there you go. There's no real surge pricing here in Bangkok that I'm aware of. Every now and then, I just looked up the price from my condo here to Saxophone. I'll do that in reverse often. I'll normally take the train to Saxophone at Victory Monument and then come home in a cab once the train stops. and it is just under 7 miles from Saxophone to my place. And I looked it up right now, and it said it's 113 baht, $3.50. I might even get crazy and leave a whole 50-cent tip. Or if I wanted a rush car, it was 145 baht. I recall paying a little extra than that, so maybe there's a little tiny price differential. I don't know. I definitely don't see 3 or 5 times the price surge pricing. You just won't get a car. If it's good luck on New Year's Eve trying to get a car, here in the Prompong area to go to ICOM Siam, it's just not going to happen. Nobody's going to want to deal with the traffic and all. Maybe if it was 10 times the surge pricing, they would. But here, it's just more a matter of it is what it is price-wise, and it's just a matter of supply and demand. Oftentimes, when you order a car, don't be surprised if a taxi shows up. These guys are working both apps, and they're working as a taxi at the same time. That's why you'll sometimes get you'll get canceled if a person is sitting out in front of Nana Plaza, say, and he might accept your ride because it's kind of slowing down. Maybe it's whatever it is, 3 a.m, and then all of a sudden some guys come staggering up and say, "Hey, we'll give you 500 baht to take us from here to there." Well, he's going to cancel you. So you'll oftentimes see they'll accept your ride, and it doesn't have to be at 3 a.m, but they'll accept your ride and not move. You can see it on the app, and 5-10 minutes later, it might say the car's 5 minutes away, and they don't move for 10 minutes. Okay, then they're waiting for a better offer. Then when they don't get it, they take off and come and get you. And that's how it is. Every now and then I've had a car moving and they've canceled before they arrived. Maybe they got a better offer on Bolt when they were coming towards me on Grab. Who knows? My girlfriend told me to toggle over to cash. I always have everything set on my U.S. credit card, and it's worked flawless over here. I had it compromised. I had one of them compromised. It's my hotel card, and I never really used it unless I went into the Holiday Inn, the IHG card. If you're interested in a good hotel card, check out my channel bar. I have links to all the Chase cards I use. The Chase Sapphire Preferred, the, what am I using? The United, the IHG hotel card. Hey, why not travel in business class for next to nothing by just putting some spend on these cards? Check it out if you're interested in a card. Anyhow, my one IHG card got compromised in Pakistan of all places, or I don't know. I'm a big believer that those numbers are just floating around out there on the internet. A lot of people, I'm never going to use my credit card in Bangkok. Like, I don't know, it's 1980 and they're taking the carbons and selling them to somebody, or perhaps they think maybe the server is taking a picture of your credit card or something. I don't know. Whenever something weird happens on my card, and it's happened over the years, but it's only happened since I've been here once, and it was obviously on the dark web because I got the alert, hey, your card was just attempted in Pakistan, and it was just attempted in Texas, and it was like 3 different places all over the world. So who knows? My number was floating around out there, and somebody was purchasing it. So that's cars. You're clearly going to beat the U.S. with Grab and Bolt here in Bangkok, Thailand. So when we're taking a look at the difference between prices with beer and wine, that type of thing, I've been searching around online for about 10 or 15 minutes now, and I don't know if it's a California thing. They're just not showing the prices. Most of the bars in California, they're showing the happy hour price, but they're not showing the full menu. So maybe that tells you something. I don't know. But I looked up 3 or 4 of my old haunts. This on the screen is the Old Sod in San Diego and North Park. Great place. Voted the #1 Irish pub in San Diego. Just a fun spot. Now, it said they have 550 draft beers, draft beer and well drinks. Okay, so surely it's not Guinness. It's just whatever, drafts. But the happy hour is only 2 to 6. That's comparing to in Bangkok, where most places it's happy hour all day until 7 and all day on Monday. And this is 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. Again, it's all day at most places, Saturday and Sunday until 7 p.m., including on the weekends. Of course, I don't know the particular in every bar, but this Old Sod, when you go to, and it's very common, you go to their drink menu, it just tells you what they serve, but it doesn't tell the prices. Now they sure pour a proper Guinness in there. I used to have Guinness in here. You can see, oh, somebody's buzzing me on my California phone. You can see the craft beer. They have a Sculpin grapefruit, and then it just lists all the beers they have, but it does not tell you the price. And all the alcohols. I did find at the Field, and I've only been to this place once or twice. It's near the ball. Well, I think there's multiple locations. I actually just saw one in Vegas, but it shows their bottles. Boatington's $9.50, Bud Light $7, Budweiser $7, Coors Light $7, Guinness non-alcoholic $7. It doesn't tell their draft prices. They have a nice selection, Guinness, Harp, on and on, but it's not telling you what it is. This is right near Petco Park in downtown. So there you go. I can't really do a fair comparison. I can show you the drink prices. This is one of my favorites, Buddy's, and locations. People are probably tired of hearing me talk about Buddy's, but it's just a fun place. They have one at the top of Soy 8 in Nana. This one we hang out a lot, top of Soy 20. Soy 8 and Soy 20 have been carrying Magners as of late, and Boone likes her cider. 22, I like it. I like this outdoor. Other people prefer the air conditioning ones. And then they have one up on Soy 89. Yeah, I thought that said Soy 80 up in the Bangkok area, and then Siloam. I think I've only been there once years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. But yeah, Buddy's is fun, and they put their drink menu up, no problem. There's no happy hour, but it's pretty much a Bangkok happy hour price. I know some people might watch this from Isan or Pattaya and say these appear to be high prices when you look at a bottle of Chang for 95 baht. I know that's oftentimes 65 or 70 baht down in Pattaya, but it's Bangkok. Things cost a little more. The big bottles, 140 baht of Leo and maybe, no, I don't think they have a big San Miguel Light. I get the regular San Miguel Light here for 95, a bottle of Tiger 95. It's a pretty good price. My O'Shea's pub I hang out at a lot, they just raised the price. It's 140 baht for a San Miguel non-happy hour, and I think 95 happy hour. I'm not positive. I sometimes get the Tiger Pint on happy hour if I happen to be there. And let's see, I don't know which one this is. They have the Moose Cider, which is a Thai cider. It's okay, but you can't compare to the Magners or Aspal. I don't see it on the menu here. And just different spirits. I didn't get any prices, and I don't really drink spirits, but I don't think you're going to get too many 145 baht drinks or the equivalent of in the U.S. You can see pretty much everything's 145 baht. Some are 165 and 175, but for the most price. Let's see what a Guinness is here. A Guinness pint is 250 baht, a half pint 135. So there you go. I think my buddy, can't remember. I think it was a little under 250. Was it? I can't remember. 230 sounds familiar for a happy hour price at some of the other spots around town. There's also the Money's Bar, which is up in the Sukhumvit Soy 48 area. It's fun, and they have talls. They might have went up to 110. They were 100 baht forever. The same with Cheap Charlie's down on Sukhumvit Soy 50. I think inflation's hitting everybody. So there you go. I think Bangkok's going to beat Southern California for drink prices. And forget, I usually put a little tip if it's whatever. If my drink, and I usually run a tab, run a bin, whatever you want to call it. But let's say I didn't, and I just bought myself a beer and Boone a cider, and it was whatever it was, 260 baht. Well, I'm fine leaving the 300 baht, just kind of rounding up. In California, it's kind of like, do you want to tip 20, 25, or 30%? All right, you popped the cap off a bottle of beer. Hey, so there you go. There's just some basic everyday spend that we're going to do here in Bangkok, or I'm going to do, compared to living in San Diego. If maybe you're considering moving over to save some cash, yeah, you're definitely going to save money on housing. If you're disciplined and you can put yourself on a tight budget, maybe you can live on a smaller budget. I'm not really doing that. I spend what I'm going to spend, and I just enjoy myself. I just get so much more for my money here in Bangkok, going out to dinner more often. There's just not many places in Southern California where you're going to be able to. Everybody remembers the $5 meal deals. It wasn't the greatest food for you and all, but you could go and get a meal, a drink, a burger, a fries, or whatever, and it was $5. I think those days are long gone. Over here, there's not so many $5 meal deals going on, but you can go get a $3 meal that's delicious. Chicken soup and chicken and rice, Hainanese chicken, any of these food courts. I'm not a huge street food guy, but there's many small restaurants I frequent that super affordable. I mean, a couple of bottles of water for two people and a couple of 3 different plates of food we'll share, and you're out of there for less than $10. That can be done here all day long. Now, hitting the Western options, I'm not going to say it's as much as the West, but if you want fish and chips on Friday at a pub here in town, I go to O'Shea's often. I don't have it memorized. I think it's 330 baht, so call it $11, but you get a free pint of beer, so that saves you a little bit of cash. If you want the fish and chips any other time of the week, you don't get the free pint of beer. So there you go. Different pubs will have everyday specials. I know O'Shea's does a pizza and beer on, or if you don't drink, I think you can get 2 sodas. A pizza and sodas, or I'm sure if you don't drink soda, they'll work something out. But it's $3.50 for a pizza and a beer on Monday. On Tuesday, it's a drink, a beer, and Australian pie. That's really good. I think even the most expensive pie is less than 400 baht. I usually get the chicken and mushroom, really good. Wednesday, bangers and mash and a beer. Thursday, Indian food and a drink. And Friday, the fish and chips. Now, I can't remember on the weekend roast. Can't remember. I think O'Shea's might do it Saturday and Sunday, but look that up on Facebook. For sure on Sunday. And you can get 2 roasts and a bottle of wine for a super affordable price. I don't know. It's kind of like stepping back in time a little bit coming here. I know many people think Bangkok is a super crazy, expensive city compared to many of the other parts of Thailand, and it is. It's going to cost more to live in Bangkok, Thailand than it is in any other section of maybe Phuket. Phuket's pretty darn expensive, but I don't know. There are just so many options you have for affordable spend here in Thailand and not so much in Southern California, especially for rent. I knew many folks that worked in San Diego and dealt with the long border wait to live in Tijuana. A lot of my Mexican buddies, but even just regular folks would go down there to get a $500 or $600 apartment. That's just not an option anymore in most of San Diego. Even you think about mobile home parks and all, man, some of those space rents are thousands of dollars. It just is what it is. I love San Diego. Don't get me wrong. That'll always be my hometown, but I couldn't afford to retire early and stay there. Even looking at smaller things like the price of a movie ticket, it said I looked it up real quick. It said on average in San Diego the price is about $19. Well, here in Bangkok, I know at Terminal 21, the older movie you can get for 170 baht. Let's say it's been out a couple of weeks or a month. 170 baht's $5. Or the newer movies, 220 baht or $7. That's a savings compared to 19. I'm pretty sure the popcorn and soda is going to be less at Terminal 21 than it's going to be at Sinopolis in Carlsbad. That is what it is. Things like HBO, I looked it up. I didn't even know they had ads on HBO at a discount in the U.S. I don't see that here. I pay 25 bucks through my AIS phone plan for HBO all year. I think it's an Asian HBO. It has everything. The Sopranos, The Wire, I think is on there. All those type of shows, plus the newer movies. But I think it's called HBO Go or HBO. I don't know. It's when you play around with the VPN, you can't switch that HBO to United States HBO. It says not available in this region. But still, I have HBO, Apple. I don't know. Internet TV, I have 100,000 channels. I'm fine. But I'm better off paying 25 bucks for my HBO than whatever it costs. It says is 23 bucks or 229 a year in the US for ad-free premium HBO, whatever that is. Netflix 4K. I wanted the 4K, so that only comes with 4 streams at a time. So that's fine. That cost me a whopping 419 baht or $13 here. In the US, that same 4K, 4 streams would be $25. I want the 4K with my TV, so I just Boone had Netflix already, so she gave it to her sister, and I don't know, her sister's boyfriend, whatever. I'm gonna just have one 4K screen anyhow. What do I care if they use the other ones? In fact, that makes me feel good. Apple TV, I pay 249 baht here, or $7.50. In San Diego, just a Google search says Apple TV's 15 bucks. So it is. So I'm looking good. I'm looking good on my everyday expenses here. Again, it's easy to get caught up in. I'm saving so much money. I can go out every day. And I oftentimes do go out every day if it's for lunch. I rarely cook at home. I have a bunch of food in the fridge right now. Some steak and chicken. Oh, it's raining. Hasn't rained in weeks. I have a bunch of stuff in the fridge, and some things are going to be more expensive here. I bought a big thing of gold medal self-rising flour. I have all the Thai flours, but I can't get the biscuits just right. So I know they're not that great for me, but I got the heavy whipping cream and the self-rising flour, and I'm going to knock that out. Again, you can get your self-rising flour super cheap at Walmart. Call it, I'm guessing, $4, $5. I don't know. I just paid $11 for that same bag here. Now I can get a $3 bag of flour. It's the Thai flour, and I'm just not having such great luck mixing the yeast in with the flour. So thanks for watching and following along my little channel. It's just daily living here in Bangkok. I'm usually out doing street tours or showing the different places we hang out in, if it's a pub or a restaurant. Having a great time living here. I invite anybody to come over for a visit. If you're thinking about possibly coming over and retiring here, well, come for a visit. Make sure it's for you, but it probably will be. I've met so many people, hundreds of people through my channel, and I haven't met one yet who's came here who basically said, yeah, it's not for me. I've met some folks and spent some time here and then said, no, I'm also going to spend half the year in Canada or the U.S. or whatever the case is. I've met many of those folks, but not too many people come here and just hate it. That's just not happening. It's a great place to live. So you have a great evening, and we'll catch you very, very soon. All right, good night. It's 3:50 in the morning. I'm a night owl. You take it easy.